Good morning, my neighbors. I can sleep. The chicken fry up early and I got to eat. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke. I am up. I stay woke. I don't sleep. I stay woke. I stay woke. I stay woke.
Shit, yeah.
What up, y'all? That was the longest intro ever. Did that on purpose. Welcome to another episode of Stay Woke with your friendly neighborhood supervillains. I'm JB.
I'm Julie, and we are here with Christian Rich because he's number one, our special guest, and number two, our
Tell him your real name.
TAIWO
of Christian Rich. And Danny has left us.
Danny has left us abruptly. I think he's no longer on the show. He got another deal with Ebony Magazine. And he's out of here. He's the new Howard Stern. That song that we just heard was Trees Low Key called Listen. Awesome record. And the African experience before that was Giuliano Mardarelli, which sounds a bit Italian. So once again, some appropriation probably going on.
Is that the one that sounded like an acoustic version of Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, exactly. So once again, another example of appropriation. That song was called
appropriation in which direction?
Always from the white direction, taken from us.
You
brother.
don't talk that way about Stevie Nicks. She's never done anything
and
wrong
anybody
in her
white
life.
knows this. You know what I'm saying? That's why they shot the noses of the Sphinx in Egypt.
Tell them, yeah. There you go.
It's so good to have an African here.
Yeah, I know.
I wish we had Danny, but it might have been too black for him.
Maybe.
Might have been too close to the homeland. He couldn't react.
There's a lot of alpha male in here with me.
Totally.
Here, so.
Oh shit, my nigga just brought all the alpha in.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing week, y'all. Let's talk about the loyalty of those OVO fans. Shout out to the niggas. Did they chase Joe Budden or did they insult him? Like, does anyone know what happened?
Oh, wait, okay, so first of all, are we talking about the video?
We're talking about the video.
Okay. Backstory is always important for a radio show, Jean.
Don't play yourself, Julie. Stop with the sarcastic, smart comments.
So there was a video of Joe Budden chasing like three dudes.
From what I saw, yeah. But I didn't do a backstory on it.
They're like teenagers.
Yeah, they look like little Supreme fans. They don't look like...
What's the story? What happened?
I think that's the story.
So I did some research weeks ago. But what happened was Joe Budden was 7:30 in the morning. He was in a wife beater or a Nigeria singlet. He was going into his whip or something. He was in his whip, and then he was about to get his coffee. 7:30 in the morning, New Jersey, wherever he lives. These kids come up to him, just saying something. He's ignoring them. He's like, "Oh, there's some crazy fans." And then he keeps saying a bunch of Drake lyrics, and he realized, "Oh, these kids are trying to troll me."
So petty.
So he gets up and he's like, "Yo, y'all better get the fuck out of here, yada yada." And then he didn't realize. Then they chased him off. He didn't realize these kids were like staking his block for the whole day. So they just kept staying around. And that's when it turns into him getting mad, getting out the car, chasing them because he's like, no, y'all not about to make a fool of me. He's like, I'm about to beat the shit out of one of these kids. He's like, better yet, I'm gonna get my gun and kill one of these kids. That's why he says it. And then he realized like, oh, these are kids. And he was like, I had to stop. Because he's like, yo, I know I'm crazy. So I had to chill. Like, oh, I gotta chill. And then he goes to somehow, he has a 15-year-old son as well, like them. So somehow he finds the address, goes to the kid's crib. The mom comes out, sees like, oh shit, there's this big black dude in my crib, gets his brothers to talk to him. They talk it, chop it up like, man, and they're like, yo, we get it, blah, blah, blah. The kid never comes out. But I mean, the internet and that child won because Drake is following them now. And
turned up.
Joe Budden continually looks like a fool. He's still stuck in the pump it up days.
You know what I think? Those kids handled the situation expertly. That's how you deal with a nigga from the 90s.
They created the situation.
Well,
They're little assholes. What are you talking about?
It shows you the power of OVO.
It shows you the power of obnoxious 15-year-olds.
Yes.
The beef was turned up, and they went over there and pumped it up a bit more.
If they were in Florida, they would have got shot on some stand your
But they
ground
weren't.
shit.
They were in Jersey, and Joe Budden wasn't going to shoot nobody.
Oh my God. You know
First
what
of
though?
all-
Honestly, I truly believe this. Like, more annoying, obnoxious 15-year-old boys need to kind of get like hit every once in a while.
That's like saying you should get hit every once in a while. 'Cause
I'm
you
not
act
an
like
obnoxious 15-year-old. I don't go out of my way to harass Joe Budden.
That's what happens when you write 25 diss records with no responses.
Did he actually write 25?
Maybe 2,500. I don't know. There's like, they come out every day. Joe Budden's pissed off. Yo, we smoked hookah, man. How can you do this to me? Really, bro? That's what happens. You get your block stalked by some kids, and all they do is pull up on you and recite Drake lines. That's a nightmare.
But he's still relevant, which is scary. This keeps Joe Budden relevant like Trump.
Smart move on the chess play. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not orchestrated by both of them. Like, just
What would Drake
I don't know what
benefit from
Drake's
that?
getting out of this. Yeah.
Nothing. It's a stimulus package like he does every time he does a song with French Montana.
Maybe this is actually
Wow.
No diss to French. Love you, my African brother.
maybe this is Drake's way of still loving Joe Budden. Is like, hey,
Oh, okay.
it's like an abusive relationship. This is domestic violence. He's like, hey, no, I love you. I'm gonna make sure you're in the spotlight, but it's just gonna be through like reckless abuse and mockery.
It seems eerily familiar. It feels like my relationship with Will I Am.
Shout out, Will.
Shout out to Cry for Help. Okay.
So here's what's crazy. Apparently, Drake sent him a note saying, hey, why don't you come to my show at Madison Square Garden, either one of the 4 sold out nights, and you can bring whoever you want, and keep sending those diss raps my way. This is
And
from
10 stacks or something, right?
Yeah, this is from Joe's mouth. It's like, you know what I mean?
But Joe Budden's is like clinically diagnosed to be insane or something like that. Whatever he is.
Great artists are though.
No. Like, I remember reading an article on him a long time ago. This dude has been through some real shit. Like, he's not just like clinically diagnosed. He's been through homes and all that crazy shit. Like, he admits it. He's a little nutty in the head. So him saying some shit like that, it could be real. High chance it's fabricated.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Either way, Drake wins, as he's been doing for almost a decade now, and everyone else looks like fucking morons.
Does it make you feel proud to be a Jew, Julie?
Yes.
I mean, I'm always proud to be a Jew. This is just
Wepa!
literally one more thing. Every time I just go to a bank or like taxes, anything makes me proud to be a Jew. So
Well, you guys stay winning.
we try.
Does anyone know what part of the world, for our audience that doesn't know, is Guadalupe? And have you ever heard of that country before, to our audience?
South America? if I'm not
South or
mistaken.
Central?
I think it's
Guadalupe,
South.
like the Virgin of Guadalupe?
Like the country.
country.
Guadalupe. We should
Oh,
probably
Guadalupe.
I
base
want to
off-
say it's South.
Is it South America? Is it like up by Belize? Let's Google
It's
map this.
yeah. Let's Google map it so we get our facts right. But
Guadalupe?
How do you?
Is that like by Martinique?
Guadalajarans.
the Guadalupeans?
I thought you meant Guatemala.
Oh, I'm thinking of Guatemala. Okay, I
Yeah,
really
no,
don't know what the fuck
Guadalupe.
to say. Yeah.
like Lupe Fiasco.
Are you sure?
How the fuck do
Are you sure it's real? Oh yeah, it's an island. I
Where's
thought
it
so.
at?
Where?
It's in the
You
Caribbean.
thought so? You just said. Are you sure it's
well,
real?
no, because I just said, is it? Yeah, I didn't know.
Anyway, where is it at?
It's a Caribbean island.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it's by Martinique. Oh, suck my
They
dick.
turned up on Young Thug. Young Thug got really pissed. I guess the savages out there try to grab every expensive ornament on his body. Note to self, Young Thug, you can't go to a really poor country wearing $500,000 worth of shit, real or fake.
Is it a really?
Well, let me give my experience on this. Growing up in Nigeria, so there's a difference between American, black or whatever, Latino hood dudes. You're hood, but America has a filter. When you're in Africa, South America, Central America, parts of Russia, Ukraine, these are really, really poor people in these places. Some of these places. So they're real street dudes. Real street dudes, no filter. The only place you're gonna get real street dudes like that is like when you go to London, you see them Africans over there with no filter. You go to Berlin, no filter. That's why Dame Dash got the scar on his head in Paris, fucking with them Africans over there, no filter. Them dudes is from Cameroon. They don't fuck around. So Young Thug didn't get the memo
Nah.
because I noticed this African Americans tend to think that they're the hardest people on the planet, but you have a filter. You're one step removed from Africa and all that, so you don't have that extra nigginess that the rest of Africans got and South Americans and all that. So he got the memo now. And he said, I ain't never going over there. Yeah, you not. Because they'll try it once again. If you come in there again, they'll try it in your hotel. Your bellboy will set you up. You know, some strippers set you up. So yeah, good lesson to learn for.
Do you think they knew who he was? Like,
nah, they just saw the fucking change.
I think he looked delicious. Niggas
They
was hungry.
see it. Yeah.
You're in a country where niggas eat mud.
But you see the chain? Like the chain is nice. It's a nice.
All that jewelry.
Yo, that shit was nice.
That
It's
nigga look like a roasted turkey, and they don't even celebrate
He looked like
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Carve him up.
That's pretty amazing. We're gonna go into Jimmy Jam. That's that Savage Mode off that brand new 21 Savage and Metro Boomin Savage Mode. I do really have a serious question. Is anyone alive that Metro Boomin doesn't trust? Because Future keeps making promises that he's going to kill people who Metro doesn't trust. So, just if we have any listeners out there, let us know. Hit us on
if Metro Boomin doesn't trust you.
and you're still alive. Because Future's been promising this shit for a year.
Future's busy. Future has a lot going on. He doesn't
Well,
have
his
time to kill
killers
people.
can't be that busy.
He
doesn't
got
have
to deal
time.
with his steps. I don't know. What's
I
the
don't know
situation? Russell. Who's Russell to him? Russell's his brother-in-law. I don't know. I don't know. He's sunning the shit out of him now.
Definitely.
Yes.
Oh, man.
We've had a hard year. We've lost Prince, rest in peace. We've lost Muhammad Ali. And I just found out that Mary J. Blige and Kendu might be splitting up over, once again, illicit text messages.
Wait, Mary J. Blige is splitting up over illicit text messages?
Literally the same word usage for illicit text messages. In that story, it was the same word, illicit text messages.
Wow.
In the other
Stay
story.
on
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, but
So
so
Kendu-
let me just can we just talk about Mary J. Blige because I didn't know that she was married.
The icing on the cake with that is she told the judge she doesn't want to give him spousal support.
Oh, this is that quick? They're already after court?
Yeah. She already said, yo, I don't want him to get spousal support, meaning he's been living off her.
Yeah,
for a
but
minute.
he's also been the manager.
What does he do?
He's the manager, and every time I've been in a studio situation via someone else, because I've never worked with her direct, where she's there, he's there making plays, picking beats. Like,
Quick story, I don't know how related this is to this, but when I first moved to New York, I was going to a job interview for Washington Mutual Bank, and I'm sitting in my car, my Volvo or something at the time. No, it was like a Saturn. I don't remember. And I see Mary J. Blige walking with Kendu to some building, and then the driver is sitting in their Range Rover, and I'm like, yo, I should go up to them and talk, or to the guy. It took me an hour to get the balls to do it. And I go up and talk to him and ends up being Kendu's cousin, and he just got really cool with me and met up with me one day. He gave me his two-way page. It was like, copy anybody's info you want to hear.
Oh wow.
So I ended up linking up with this lady that was admin at Interscope. She ended up becoming my manager, and then I started linking with all these different people. But that's my Kendu story. And I've always heard he's a cheating motherfucker, but I don't know, so don't, you know.
That worked out well. I'm honestly the most surprising thing about that story is that you had a car in New York.
Of course. I got hella tickets in New York still. Oh, man. Yes.
Wait, did you make it to that interview or you just completely spent?
I went to the interview, and then my brother was with me, and he had to go do. Oh, no. My brother dropped me off, so he got lost. We just moved to New York. He got lost in Queensbridge somewhere. So I'm sitting in Manhattan for like an hour, and I'm just like, all right, he's not coming. Let me go talk to this dude. It actually changed my life, but yeah, that's my Kendu story.
so we're gonna take that and summarize that entire thing as this. Kendu's a good dude. We don't know what really happened. None of us were there.
I mean, he's a good dude.
We know what it is.
Hey, the nigga couldn't keep his 57-year-old dick in his pants allegedly.
I feel like if you've, because Mary J. Blige is what? She's like in her 50s too.
She's an
right?
icon.
That's not what
50 years
I'm. That's
old,
not what I'm
something.
saying. My point is if you're that far ingrained in your business and you have someone who's that ingrained in your business, like, I feel like you have to take things not the divorce way. like it's business now. You know, I feel like
Maybe that's the problem. She didn't want it to be business. That's her husband. He helped her get out of that. She talks about him in the music. He helped her get out of that weird drug phase she was in. But I guess to her, it's probably like, well, yeah, you're my business partner, but you're my husband first. I don't know.
well,
It's a
who's
weird
more
place.
powerful? Like, who do you think is more powerful?
She is.
She's more powerful.
He used
I
to be
think
more-
Kendu's probably more powerful.
Really?
Mary as an artist is Anita Baker. She's the OG. We love her, but she's not. You know, I'm not gonna do a deal because Mary walks it in. Kendu has very strong ties in the industry. Everybody's well respected on the business end. You don't see anything in the news about him owing the IRS money, shit like that. You know.
He's on point.
He's a real business dude. Not to say Mary isn't, but it's unfortunate she put him in that position, and he's the fucking man now. So yes, he's more important and relevant in the business.
well, so this seems like a bad move on her part then. Of
course.
So that's
Probably
just cutting off
decision
your
over
nose
emotion.
to spite your face.
Definitely emotion.
Decision on emotion.
You know what it is. Like, you know, let them get a what do they call it in Italian? The mafia dudes, the concubine. What do they call that? A gruma?
I don't know.
Okay,
A
you guys don't
mistress?
watch.
You want to get a mistress?
Yeah, you
This
guys
is
don't
a
watch
traveled
mafia
Negro
movies.
right here. Please
Oh
repeat
my
the phrase that was
God.
just said.
Is a gruma? Some shit like that. You can watch
The only thing I know is fucking is Mulian, and I don't like that.
Muliano. Yeah, I learned that from Eddie Murphy. Fucking Moolies. Yeah.
There was one interesting point in what you were just saying, based on the fact that she's on sort of an icon status, like Anita Baker. I wonder what her rider looks like. Do you think she has fried chicken on her rider?
Of course.
Of course, right?
So racist of us. To
That's
say
so
that, but
racist,
yes,
but
spicy.
so true. There's
and it's
definitely
Popeyes,
totally, and some hot sauce.
barbecue sauce and hot sauce.
I don't really understand the deal with Mary J. Blige. Like, I know, like in the black community, she's like a really big deal.
You say you don't
Oh,
know
boy.
him.
I don't understand it. I owned No More Drama, that album, like 01.
Oh, you was too late then. You didn't come in my lifetime. What's the 411? Then you're never gonna
she's
But
understand.
so
very
does she
precious.
still? Does she
She's
still? She like tours and everything still?
She tours. She's well off. I mean, I know she had the tax situation with the government. That's been fixed.
but she's paid.
She's a busy woman. She's a treasured icon.
She's a hood chick from Yonkers, the project, same area, same places, the Locks and DMX, very rough. That's why she got the scars. She used to be heavy into drugs and shit. She wasn't the best singer, but she's our singer.
felt her singing.
Like, yeah, what she didn't even, as we grew up, we found out she was just doing fucking covers. She wasn't even doing real songs. But it's the way she did it. She was the female version of Jodeci, real hood dudes. That's why she was dating JoJo. Like, the context of it is that when we all were in the hood, it was these people that dressed just like us. They had the Jodeci boots, which were high top Doc Martens, with the fucking jean jackets and the leather jackets and the Guess jeans. They looked just like us, and they were fucking making hit records. So that was the connection. So if you're from the 90s and then you're a kid from someone from the 90s, your parents put you on it, you're always going to keep her in that status.
Wait, but so she only
Like
sings
Weird Al
covers?
Yankovic.
Thank
know.
you.
It's like Beth Midler to you guys.
I do love Bette Midler. She's lovely.
So is Mary J. Blige.
And she's pro-black too, which I really fuck with.
Yeah,
Bette Midler.
black dick.
Jews always are.
Nah,
Well,
let's not get into
Jewish
that.
women are like. Wait, but so Mary J. Blige only sings covers? That's serious?
That's not true.
Well, the album In My Lifetime, as I got older and started digging more into samples, if you go back to My Life in the Sunshine, the Raw Air song, she just took lyrics, she just lifted the lyrics. And no, that's probably not the best example. She took the hook, but there's this one song, I can't remember, but if you go listen to the original, she just sang the same lyrics. It was just covers. They just reproduced it, made it sound beefier for the 90s, but it was...
All of this seems like super precarious business practices on her behalf.
Well,
could
she
have
was
been Puffy's
she was
behalf.
yeah, it was a Puffy. That was Puffy's thing back then, and she was just introducing us because I wouldn't have cared for those songs if she didn't do it. I wouldn't even search for them, the Mary Jane Girl songs and all that. So it was perfect for our generation. But as an adult, I realized they were just covers.
She's that was so okay.
It's fucked
Let
up,
me
man.
clean this up. Mary J. Blige is like, I remember the first time hearing her was honestly for me was when the What's the 401 remix with Grand Puba, and my life completely changed and I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
No one could actually sing about pain, through pain, with the conviction that Mary did, and she did it over hip hop beats, which is also an homage to Puff's genius. And then she evolved into a bigger stadium vocalist. And she did that really terrible song with Dre. No disrespect to Dre. That song sucked, I'm sure. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get it crunk up in
Family
this
Affair.
Yeah.
That's a big song.
Okay,
for
that's
her.
It's a
like
big
how,
song,
but
but
that's
it's a
like
terrible
that's
song.
how
It's-
I was introduced to her.
You
like that
saying?
song?
I mean, that came out when I was really little, so it has like a special place in my
Real
heart.
Mary
I don't even
fans,
think
like,
she-
In this
used-
dancery,
yeah, like when we heard that, we were like, oh, Mary's out of here. What's going on?
She doesn't even use that kind of language in her
Her brother
everyday
wrote some of
vernacular.
that shit with her, that dancery crap. Her brother wrote. That's why it sounds like that. No offense to her brother.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a great writer, but
She's an icon, and we love her, and we hope that they stay together. Apparently, Tinashe's long tongue has landed her a pretty coveted single individual.
is the
Calvin
long
Harris.
tongue what we're looking
Her
at?
tongue is like down to her Adam's
Those
apple.
boobs,
thing.
man.
It's like almost as long as Jane Simmons.
Wow.
That tongue has got her to the attention of Calvin Harris. There are a couple
oh
now.
god,
Is this official?
This is official.
I'm actually mad. I thought
I'm
I
not
was
mad
going to
at
run
you,
into
Calvin.
her.
good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Tinashe's had a really tough break the past couple of years.
Tough break?
So yeah.
What's a tough break? She's a one-hit wonder that's trying to extend it.
Well,
What's
yeah,
so
that
about
seems tough. That seems
It's not tough. You either give up or you keep trying.
Or you date Calvin Harris. That's the plan.
Yeah.
You suck on that
Okay.
Scottish
Not a bad
penis,
plan.
girl.
Nah, it's not
Nah,
Not a bad
Tinashe's
plan.
dope, and she just needs
She's
to have
African,
something to
too.
break. I know. I
Is
met her
she?
dad.
Zimbabwe, right?
Her dad and her mom came through the session with me many years ago. I don't know why they felt they had to.
They're like mama jers, dada jers.
They're like, yeah, we heard about this nigga, but nah, they're awesome. She's a dope artist. I hope it breaks through for her, and I hope.
Do you
this
think
partnership-
they're gonna write stuff together, or do you
Yes.
think this is like this? Kind of reminds me of like when Twigs dated Robert Pattinson.
They're
Like,
married now.
are they?
No, go ahead, finish your point.
Really? I'm so shocked by that. No, because I always feel like there are these couples that are
Backstory,
like.
Julie. Backstory.
I always feel like there are these couples that are like ethnically like ambiguous and like super colonial white boy to like make England comfortable.
You know, it's only white people that look at shit like that. like me as a black dude, African dude, I just see it like, oh, okay, Calvin is cool. We have mutual friends. He's dating Tinashe, dope. I don't look at it like, oh, it's a white dude. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like, but it's interesting. A lot of white people kind of they got to make it. Oh, it's black, white.
They
Quick
look at
story.
things from a colonial perspective of
Yes.
how they can box it and separate it and control it.
I feel like I'm probably the worst guest you guys have had because I'm pretty raw. I'm actually trying to dial myself back, but
Actually,
I'm
no,
gonna
you're
keep
pretty
raw.
awesome.
So there was this girl I met with my brother. We were hanging out and we ended up having like one of those late Hollywood nights. White chick, slim, cute, nice ass. So she's a writer, a comedy writer, and we hit it off. I went to her crib, make out session. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Didn't fuck or nothing like that, you know. Attempts were made, but no fucking. So she texted me the next week or something. She was out the country, like, hey, I wrote this show, and I'm wondering if you want to be. It's like a webisode thing. I'm wondering if you want to be the character in it. I'm like, well, send it to me. Let me read it. I'm not an actor. I don't really fuck with TV shit. And then she sends it to me, and the whole episode is about how she met me and how she was intimidated to date a black dude, and then her friend was like, fuck it, I'll fuck both of them. It was like, that's how you saw me as a black dude? I just saw you as this chick. Like, you're cool.
Is it Sarah Silverman you're talking about?
No, she's not
Fuck
famous. She's is she an actress?
Wait. Did
She's Jewish, I
her
think,
friend? Of course she is.
Her friend didn't do this in real life. In the script, she did.
Oh,
I mean, if she did, then that'd be another story I would have told y'all. But no, she didn't. But it was interesting to me because I encountered this a lot. If I date someone black or white, I'm dating you because I think you're bad, you're beautiful. I don't look at it as some statement. You know, I don't think Calvin Harris. Maybe he is trying to make a statement. He's a little Scottish.
He might be in love.
Well,
She's
I mean,
she's
I'm.
hot.
She's
She
hot,
is
man.
hot.
And she's half white. Her mom is white as fuck.
But also, I mean, she seems way more chill than his most recent girlfriend.
I heard that she's not. I've heard that she's a
Really?
wild, fun girl.
Right, that I don't know. That doesn't sound like Taylor Swift to me. Taylor Swift sounds like someone like who yells.
Taylor
a
Swift
lot.
sounds like I hate to. Look, Taylor Swift is she gets around. She's not a nice
Allegedly.
girl. Ain't no allegedly. She makes songs about the boyfriends. Taylor Swift gets around in the hood. If it was anyone else, they'd be like, "Oh, she's a hoe." She is. I mean, how do you break up with Calvin on Monday and dating Thor's brother on Wednesday? Come on, man.
I mean, okay.
Let's keep
I
it
embrace
funky.
that. I think she should date whoever she wants. She's super
See,
she's
that's the
super
feminism.
powerful.
I'm sorry.
She is. I mean, it's like taking over countries. Like if you're a strong nation, why wouldn't you? Look, she's
okay,
like,
but there's got to be some time for reflection. Give some time for reflection.
that's what the songs are for.
Nah, she's a whore.
It's
I would
so-
still work with
what
her.
are
I
you
love her.
You know, but
What she did to Kanye and was the icing on the cake.
That was
she
fucked up.
People started making that a racial thing online. I saw all this shit. It was like this fucking niggers lying about Taylor, and then when it came out, it was like, oh well, yeah, she's vindictive. She's a vindictive person.
I think that I said this before. I think we're gonna learn that the VMAs thing was supposed to be staged, and she didn't go along with it.
Oh shit!
That's what I think. Because Kanye more and more, like when he came out in Chicago on Drake's concert, was like, it's fucking 7 years.
My brother saw him on the plane with him too.
Oh, really?
For Lollapalooza in first class.
Oh.
Which I probably shouldn't even say that.
But he's been saying like for 7 years, blah, 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 blah. Like 7 years ago was the VMAs.
Mm-hmm.
So
What
it's
did he
like,
say? I didn't even get to click it and watch.
I don't know. I just remember someone saying something about like, but I'm so glad my wife has Snapchat. This bullshit's been going on for 7 years.
Right.
And it's like,
Okay.
I don't know. I
That makes
personally,
sense.
here's the thing to me about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift to me seems like the archetype of white woman who would like accuse someone of rape.
That's what I was trying to say, but I thought it was a bit too sensitive. I'm glad it came out.
I know
of
it's
your
great
mouth.
that I can say it. But that being this is a difficult thing for me to like grapple with, that people can call her a whore and she can be like bounce from one dude to another, but also be the type of woman who like gets in her feelings and is like, well, now I have to destroy you. You know, like that seems like two different women to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't understand.
It's what's the word? It's contradictory. And
Yeah, like it seems like if you're like, all right, I'm breaking up with you on Monday, I'm going to someone else on Wednesday, then you're like kind of cold. Like then that shit doesn't phase you. Then dudes don't phase you that hard. But to do some like, I'm gonna completely lie and make you look like the devil shit. Like, oh, he called me a bitch and he didn't say he was gonna call me a bitch, and now this is not. People will hold you down, and
I will say to a credit on the video, he doesn't. There's no bitch line. I don't think it was created yet. But what she did say is, say whatever you want. I'm sure it's gonna be dope. I appreciate you calling me. This is so cool. So if you tell someone say whatever you want, he said bitch. He told him on video say whatever you want.
But also
and then
the
she
bitch
tried
line,
to sue them.
The bitch line was a bullshit line. It's like it's the word bitch used super casually. Like
when I first heard it, I thought it was a fucked up line because I didn't know the backstory. I'm just like, damn, that's fucked up. Ye can be a little bit obnoxious sometimes, but now that I understand everything, it's like, yeah, you got on the phone. She said she was having fun with what you said. Fuck it, let me take it a step further. She said it's cool. Thank God his wife. Now I don't care to understand the purpose, but I understand the purpose of why his wife was brought into his life for that moment. Because that shit changed his life, man. That shit that happened 7 years ago changed Kanye's life. He had to dig his way out of that.
Which made him a greater artist. And once again, all these things, unless you were there, it's in my head is alleged. So if Taylor's a manipulative motherfucking biatch, get that motherfucking money, keep doing your thug dizzle. Kanye's just as strong as ever.
But the other thing,
we're gonna go into another song. That song was called "I'll Never Love," by Michael Kiwanuka, and that's what I think Rob Kardashian is feeling right now. Whatever he found allegedly in fucking Black China's phone to make him feel like he wants to call up everything. Hope he didn't sign the contracts on that amazingly designed show on E. That's a huge check. Chris, put them niggas back together.
Yeah, make it happen.
So, my brother, I want to spend the rest of the show, if you don't mind, talking about your history, talking about what it's like growing up in Africa, talking about your production team with your brother and some of the accomplishments that you guys have had in the industry.
Yeah. So I was born in Chicago, and then my dad got a job offer in Nigeria because he has a PhD in mechanical engineering. Just got to stump for him real quick.
Amazing,
of course.
That. Awesome Africa.
The job fell through, but he came back to the States and said, hey, you guys should stay, soak up the culture. I didn't remember that part. I just remember growing up there. So I didn't even know I was American. And then we came back to the States, discovered hip-hop, 1990, discovered slavery, all this shit. I had no idea what it was. Then it turned into making our own beats and rapping, and then it turned into, I skip over all the other shit. It turned into working with Lil' Kim, The Clips, J. Cole, Earl Sweatshirt, all these cool people, Pharrell.
You can't just skip the Pharrell part so subtly. Was Pharrell some of the like?
So Pharrell, the Pharrell part came from, there was a point in our career where I was singing and rapping because I had to find another way to get my beats out besides trying to pitch it the old industry way. And then I made this song called Famous Girl, shot a video similar to like an Eyes Wide Shut kind of thing where the girl gets eaten at the end. But a lot of people thought the artist was white because of the way I sang it. Because what I did was I took an idea from Cyndi Lauper, the song "The Heat Is On," and then the song from Wham. When I was writing it, I just took these ideas, and then the chords I took from what's that Cyndi Lauper song? Dun, 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 dun. Those very basic pop chords.
True Colors?
Yes. I didn't know that in 2006. Those were pop chords. I just like, oh, I like those chords. Amazing. So I wrote the whole thing in an hour, did the video, and me and my brother in the video for 2 seconds because we were trying to tell this story. And then one of the homies, my homie Shomi's like a big director now. He did videos for Mark Ronson. He does all the ASAP stuff, crazy stuff. So he saw the video through a mutual friend and then sent it to Shay from NERD, the other black dude in NERD, not Chad or Pharrell. And then Shay was like, yo, I want to see those guys. So we took a bus to Virginia. I was working at the bank at the time, even though I was doing music. Like, I didn't get paid that week. I had to borrow money from my girlfriend at the time, for the bus. So I took the bus down to Virginia. Me and my brother, we met with Shay. It was cool. He was trying to play it off like, you know, I'm not into it. And his man put us to the side like, yo, Shay, fuck with y'all. So me and my brother like, okay, how are we going to make this work? I was like, we should bring him on as management just so we can have access to all this shit and we can all really get bread off it. And that's what we did. And we started going back and forth, talking, and, you know, and then one day he was like, yo, P wants to meet y'all when he comes to New York. Because what he was doing was just playing the music when he was around Pharrell in the car. Never said, yo, listen to this. He would just play it like he was playing a regular song. And then Pharrell was like, yo, what's that shit you keep playing? And at the time I would sing, my singing was very much influenced by him and like Stevie Wonder, and Michael Jackson. So then we met him at the fucking Four Seasons Hotel. He was like, yo, I fuck with y'all. And he would, the homie Cupcakes, Johnny Cupcakes was cutting his hair. And I was like, yo, you should hear, I went to Pharrell, like, yo, you should hear the song I wrote. I don't know, I mean, maybe y'all could use it. And he heard it, he started going crazy. He called Puff like, yo, I found the producers you're going to work with on Last Train to Paris. We go to the Governor's Island where they were doing the show. And then we was going to go home. And then Yan Lee, who was his manager at the time, was like, yo, y'all got to come back here. Pharrell wants to take y'all to go meet Puff. We go meet Puff, and we played him some stuff. He was just like, yo, they dope. I want to work with them. And we started working on Last Train to Paris. He would call us all the time and yada, yada. And then we kind of fucked that up, now that I think about it, because he actually picked the beat, but Lupe took the beat already. And then me, Ken, and Shay, Puff called us like 2 in the morning. Yo, I need that beat. You know who the fuck this is? Yada yada.
You picked Lupe Fiasco over Puff.
You know, I'm still fresh in all this shit. So I'm going off my manager's lead. Like, Lupe's his guy. So I'm like, yo, it's my hands are tied because the thing with dealing with Pharrell and all those guys at that time was if I made a decision, it reflected them because I started knowing all these people because of them. So I couldn't just make a decision as Christian Rich like I can do now, which that led to so many other fucked up. I have so many situations like that where I couldn't make the decision I want because it reflected the whole Star Trek, which was really fucking annoying. But anyways, that's my Pharrell thing. So anyways, we did that, and then we started to branch out and started going back to doing our own thing. And then we started, we did Earl Sweatshirt's first album, Doris. We did some stuff we did Vince Staples' single, which changed his fucking life, apparently.
Doris is also arguably a classic hip-hop album for the generation.
Yes, actually, I met Jean for the first time because he walked in the session when we were doing the song. Oh, this song didn't even make the album. It's a song with Damo Genesis called Blue Home. And I took the sample from this group, LTD or something. And Jean was working with someone downstairs. I don't know if you want me to say who it is. And at Paramount, and you came up. And you were like, yo, I'm a fan. So you are a real fan because you came in.
Yeah.
I remember that. So anyways, so everything leads up to, we did Senorita for Vince Staples. We put Future on the hook. We sampled him. And that changed everyone's life. That changed his life. And yeah, I skipped a bunch of really cool shit, but that's the gist.
We're gonna
of
do
it.
a part 2 of this interview with you and your brother because you guys are so amazing, and the white powers, presumably Jewish powers behind us, are telling us we got to wrap this up. But I would love.
Oh my gosh, why is it saying the Jewish powers?
I mean, I'm just assuming, right?
I don't have Jewish lawyers anymore, so it don't matter to me.
I'm surrounded by Jews. I love it that way though.
I love them,
Except for this Jew.
I fired all of them. But
So we definitely gonna have to bring you back because there's so much we've got to go into.
yeah, sorry I was talking so much. This is so fun.
No, it was
I can do
amazing.
this for hours.
Thank you so much, y'all. You know how it is. Be safe this weekend. If you're going to do drugs, don't OD. If you're going to have sex, use a condom. But more importantly than anything, make sure you stay woke.